Think Vikings were only raiders in horned helmets? Think again. Join us as we reveal the untold truth of their world. Explorers, traders, builders, and storytellers. Think you know the Vikings? What if everything you've heard, horned helmets, savage raids, endless battles, is only a fraction of their story? Today, we travel beyond the blood and steel to uncover the real Vikings, explorers, traders, builders, and a society far richer than myth suggests. Popular culture paints the Viking as a berserk warrior, foaming with rage, axe in hand. Hollywood loves the image of horned helmets and brutal conquests. But history tells us otherwise. The horned helmets? A complete invention. And while raids terrified Europe, they were only one small part of Viking life. Their world was not built on endless destruction. It was built on balance, survival, and innovation. Yes, Viking raids struck fear into monasteries and villages across Europe. To a monk writing in a candlelit scriptorium, these sudden attacks must have felt like the wrath of gods. That's why the image of savage marauders stuck so deeply in our history books. But the truth is, they were farmers, fishers, artisans, and settlers first. Raiding was seasonal, opportunistic, never the whole story. The true genius of the Vikings lay in their mastery of the sea. Their longships were marvels of engineering, light, flexible, and fast. With shallow drafts, they could slip from the open ocean straight into winding rivers. Their navigation skills, remarkable. Using sun compasses, shadow boards, and the stars, they ventured far beyond the horizon. Long before the age of compasses, these skills carried them astonishing distances. From icy Greenland to the warm markets of Baghdad, Viking sails dotted the world's oceans. They didn't just stumble into these lands. They sought them out, guided by experience, instinct, and an unshakable drive to explore. This was a society that thrived on curiosity as much as courage. Inside their homeland, Viking society was carefully structured. Jarls, the noble elite. Carls, the free farmers and craftsmen. Thralls, the enslaved. But within this hierarchy, surprising freedoms emerged. Women could own property, manage farms, and engage in trade. Some sagas even speak of shield maidens, warriors who stood shoulder to shoulder with men, though historians still debate how often this occurred. Vikings weren't lawless marauders. They had systems of order, communities gathered at assemblies, called things, where disputes were settled and laws debated. Justice wasn't delivered with swords alone, but through agreements, compensation, and public decisions. For a society so often seen as wild, their commitment to governance was striking. Perhaps most surprising is the scale of their trade. Viking merchants reached from the windswept North Atlantic to the glittering palaces of Byzantium. They traded furs, amber, and iron, returning with silk, spices, silver, and exotic coins. Archaeologists have uncovered Arab dirhams in Scandinavia, Byzantine jewelry in Viking graves, and even goods from as far as China. The Vikings were not isolated. They were global players. Their influence spread far beyond their lifetimes. In England, Normandy, Ireland, and even across Russia, Viking settlers helped shape kingdoms. Their sagas, rich with gods, heroes, and voyages, survive as one of the great treasures of world literature. Even our modern language carries traces of their words: sky, window, husband, and more. Their legacy was not destruction, it was transformation. So next time you picture a Viking, don't just imagine the roaring warrior at the monastery gates. Picture the shipbuilder shaping a perfect keel, the trader weighing silver coins from Baghdad, the woman managing her family farm, the poet weaving tales by the fire. The Viking Age was not a single story of war. It was a mosaic of courage, innovation, and cultural exchange. And that is the real history of the Vikings beyond the raids. The Vikings shaped history far beyond their raids. From language to legacy, they transformed the world. Remember, the real Viking story is richer, deeper, and far more epic.